Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 20th of December. So before we look at the markets, quick look at the news as ever. It's expected out today. Well, we've already seen the monetary policy meeting minutes for Australia. Aside of that, we've also seen and we have had the press conference, beg your pardon, it's all out there, but the Japanese monetary policy statement and press conference. We've then got this afternoon core retail sales for Canada, and that's it. So it is a quiet week this week actually. When I click on the rest here from what we've got inflation for Canada tomorrow, I almost said yesterday then, and the consumer confidence. It's only going to affect the Canadian pairs, if at all, and then we've got the final GDP for the US on Thursday, which we've seen all the earlier numbers. This has much less effect. And Canadian GDP, it's a month-on-month figure on Friday, and again, not so much of an effect. So it is very much a quiet week in terms of news in real terms. There are no other speakers actually plotted out there for today as either. So we've got, hang on a minute, we have got ECB's Casimir speaking there at 9, beg your pardon. So we do have one other speaker, just to be aware of. Right, so aside of that then, let's look at the technicals then. So the Euro daily picture still broadly up. Yesterday, slightly up on the day. But when you come down to the 4 hours and look at the detail, it's ugly. Today slightly up at the moment. He says slightly up, actually slightly down from the close, so quite ugly looking in terms of what we've got here. Even down to this hourly, it's gone from sort of we're very much in this consolidated zone, making it difficult to work out where this is going next at the moment. So I mean, I'm coming back to the 4 hourly for a bit more guidance than the hourly is going to give me, and even this is sort of, it's sloping to the downside. If we ignore the spike there, arguably it's still a sort of a bullish flag, but we'll see how it develops today. But it's become end of year looking. In other words, flat. The pound, daily wise, then last couple of days not really gone anywhere. Today it's, well, small range. In fact, today's range has been bigger than the ranges around it, and we haven't really started yet. There we are in a consolidation, spiky old bit of price action around the Japanese news release. Aside of that, well, it slipped and has been slipping to the downside. It's quite messy where it sits at the moment, but erring to the downside a little bit more than the euro, which would make sense. Dollar yen, well, we've seen this, the yen news out there. It's been quite hawkish in relative terms, and you've seen the reaction to the markets for this. It's already sold off here, and quite a strong old bar. We could get a continuation through here. It was my preference of what was going to happen. I actually had a Heikin-Ashi bar sitting on this, thinking, well, this might go at some stage, but unfortunately it's all gone in one go. That's what happens sometimes. Everything looks right for a nice setup, and it's blown all those setups right the way through. Got no regard for us looking there for our trades in the morning, is it? Okay, Aussie dollar, another soft one. Really not doing a great deal. In fact, yesterday we've rolled over. I had a signal set up there on the weekly pivot there, and it never quite got there, just short of my signal. And yet it's done what I expected it to do effectively, but saying that, a lot of that's through the Asian session. So didn't get to the signal. I wouldn't have been awake in reality. Well, I might have been still. It was a late one. Oh no, 3 o'clock. I wouldn't have been awake. Anyway, it's rolling at the moment and looking soft. US dollar CAD come out there. We've all got these. The majority of them got the sort of spiky action where the US dollar was affected by the yen, dollar yen. Got this bullish engulfing sort of bar sitting there on the 4 hourlies. I'm just sort of looking at the dailies, and well, the dailies is slight down bar yesterday, but it's still in this sort of what's rising sort of price action at the moment. It keeps on giving us new highs. Eventually, it hasn't on this current bar there, but it could break up higher as we go through today. But again, one hell of a mess here. Really setting up nicely for a Christmas holiday, which it obviously needs. Look at these markets. New Zealand dollar, I'll add this one in today. Again, this is yesterday was down bar, and it's looking very much similar to the price action we're seeing with the Aussie dollar. In fact, this is a little bit cleaner on the downside, and there's been running off again. No horrible spike through the Asian session there, but if you're not in the trades and was looking for the trades, it makes no difference. At times like this, I tend to ignore the spike itself somewhat. I'll look at what the price action's doing overall, and the overall price action is to the downside here for New Zealand at the moment. Right, he says, let's switch markets here and click on my indices, but let's have a look at gold first. So looking at some commodities first, and the dailies here, the dailies here chopped all over the place, and very difficult to work out where they're going at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty much unreadable in terms of it's a real guessing game. I mean, technical analysis at the end of the day is a posh guess of what might happen, and this is a complete guess. I would say when it's doing things like this, it's okay. Short term, maybe edging upwards, but overall, not the greatest of moves there. Oil. Well, oil yesterday did manage a bit of upside, but it's slipping off at the moment. Maybe a break of these lows later on. I'm sort of looking at the potential of this. It is going to roll down further. Break of this low here would give a lower high and look even better. A more aggressive entry might be a break of the trend there as it runs off southwards. So that's the scope on that. It's a very, again, bitty movement there yesterday. It did roll over about 3 o'clock ish. Put it straight back on again. Little rising wedge or something like that, right? A flaggy sort of pattern that we're seeing there on the. Well, it's not completely. Anyway, looks. Actually, there was the flag out of the original movement that was down there, so we're still sort of sitting in that, and it's looking soft. Right. Okay, that's pretty much that. We'll quickly, just very briefly look. Oh, sorry, I haven't looked at the indices themselves. Let's have a quick flick through those briefly. So we just look at these on the dailies. The fear of lack of growth through the markets is sort of hitting the equity markets at the moment, and certainly again down today. The CSI 300. This was once looking like almost had a lot more scope to the upside, but it's over the last few days, week or so, it's been rolling backwards and looking quite soft. The Nikkei is not too dissimilar at all. In fact, it looks worse in terms of its picture. It's not a mile away from its lows that we saw in October. So looking pretty soft there. The Nifty 50 was my sort of long favourite, but it's off the cards whilst it's down here somewhere. And again, looking like it's rolled back a lot more. S&Ps, well, they're certainly tumbling at this stage. The momentum's coming out of this by the looks of things a bit. We've had the sort of bigger bars and the smaller bars coming through. Momentum coming out at the moment, maybe We'll see if anything triggers and pushes through, but there's nothing that key today to trigger it too much. When Santa Claus rally come in is the question. Maybe Christmas Eve. Oh no, it can't. It's closed. To leave it till Friday then. The eve of the eve. Looking at the Dow Jones, similarish picture. Divergence that's kicked off, looking all very soft here at the moment, soft and consolidating, if not, well, just soft right the way through this. The Nasdaq is ever looking softer than the other two still, but really on par in the short term with their movements. If we come down the shorter time frames of these, it's all the same. There's just it's just consolidating pretty much, pulling up a little bit, then selling. It's consolidating, pulling up, selling. Real old simple patterns there. Okay, the DAX, small, nearly deleted the page there. That was a close run thing. The DAX this morning, again, it's not looking pretty at the moment, and looking at the lower time frames, it really is a case of I mean, it's probably best seen on the 4-hourly here, the breaks of the moves. We're seeing break yesterday of the downside gradually rolling over and looking soft into this morning. So all looking a bit iffy here. I normally say that when I'm looking at the crypto market, but looking at the indices at the moment and thinking this all looks a bit ugly. Okay, I think the firmish touches that some of the markets are keeping towards higher interest rates are really having their effect a bit more now on these equity markets. That's pretty much it for me today. I wish you a great day's trading, and I will catch you tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye for now.